What is going on, Dog Pound? Another Sunday, another Cleveland Browns loss. Heartbreak, disappointment, hard times continue. Today, in Detroit, we lost to the powerhouse Detroit Lions, 34-10, dropping the Browns to 1-3, and now Detroit is 3-1. Now, if it wasn't for that miracle victory last week against the Green Bay Packers, the Browns would be 0-4. It wouldn't be too much of a surprise, but, you know, what can you do? I mean, it's just what it's been for the better part of 26 years, just hard times. Hard times. But I say that every week. You know, you just keep going, hoping for the best, and usually get the worst. Well, at least the Tribe, or the Indians, or the Guardians, whatever. The Cleveland baseball team today clinched the division, ending a very successful last month or so with an epic, historic comeback in the division to take the division onto the playoffs against, I believe, Detroit. But I believe we have the home field advantage here, so we'll see what happens. Anything can happen in a best of three. You know, Detroit's, going to try to get revenge on what we've been doing, so we can't take them lightly. But hopefully we do take them. Anyway, back to the Clowns. I mean, the Browns. Yeah, that's what they're called. So is it time to bench Joe Flacco? I mean, are really any of the two rookies going to do any better? Probably not. But I think we see what Joe has left in the tank. And it's not all on Joe's fault. It's not all Joe's fault. The offensive line, especially in pass protection, is just shoddy, injury-prone, old. That Aiden Hutchinson, that guy was a madman. That backup to DeJuan Jones, or whoever was supposed to be there, the backup, couldn't stop him to save his life. Hutchinson, I don't know how many QB pressures he had. He had 2 sacks. He was in on almost every single play. I mean, he was doing his best Myles Garrett impersonation. And unfortunately for the Browns, they wasted another pretty decent defensive effort. I don't believe we got any quarterback sacks, though. But we did get a turnover. We kept it close for as long as we could, but we just couldn't overcome Joe Flacco had he was 16 for 34, 184 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he did have 2 fumbles. I believe one was called back due to a penalty, luckily. But you got to see what these rookies have. I mean, we see what Joe has. He's 40 years old. He can't run to save his life, and it's not all on him. We got to see what these 2 rookies have, either Gabriel or Shedeur. You just have to do it. It's going to be a lost season anyway. They'll probably have Joe back out there another week or 2 until, we maybe get to that 1-5 mark, 1-6. But they'll probably even do it sooner, I would think. Well, he might come out next week to play one more time. But I think if he plays next week and starts and we lose, I wouldn't be surprised to see Dylan Gabriel the next game after that. So we're going off next week to face Minnesota. Out of the country. We'll see what happens. It looks like Minnesota, who lost to Pittsburgh earlier today, will probably just stay there and wait for us to get there. And I'm sure they'll, take care of business. What else would happen? Anyway, let's get back more into the game. There were crucial drops. Fannin dropped a couple. Judy, I don't know what the heck. This could have, kept drives going. More penalties. Like I said, the turnovers. Special teams was another kind of letdown. There was another missed kick, albeit it was a 55-yarder, but another missed kick. And we allowed a punt return touchdown, which kind of let out the remaining sails, the air out of the sails, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, it wasn't good. Quinshon Judkins had 21 rushes for 82 yards and a touchdown, so another pretty good performance from him 2 weeks in a row. We held Jared Goff to 168 yards passing. He did have 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. We did what we could. We held him in check for the most part. Jahmyr Gibbs did have almost 100 yards rushing, so that wasn't good. But, I mean, the defense is spending most of the game on the field anyway, so, they can only do so much. They can only hold a team like that down for so long. And, unfortunately, this is what it is. Another piss-poor performance out of the offense. And once again, I don't think it's all Flacco's fault. A lot of times the receivers aren't getting open too, and the offensive line isn't that great, and he can't move. So, it is what it is. It's race to the number 1 pick. And hopefully Jacksonville keeps on losing, even though I think they're 2-1 because we get their first round pick next year too. So, hey, we can maybe, get that quarterback if these other two guys don't work out. Maybe get a premier offensive lineman to help protect him or them for a long period of time. But, oh well. Once again, another week. Did we really think it was going to go any other way? They gave us a glimpse of hope last week. But you know what? It wasn't the Browns winning. It was the Packers losing and giving us the game. So we should be 0-4, quite honestly. Well, but we could have won the Cincinnati game. Oh, I can just beat myself over this. Anyway, let's go, Guardians. Browns dropped to 1-3. We'll see Minnesota next week across the pond. And until then, the final score, Detroit 34, the Dog Pound 10. Let's go, Brownies. Damn it. Have a good night, everybody.